So a couple of things you need to know about making the key lime pie, or if you do it as a chocolate cheesecake pie. You want to get the larger pre-made pie crust shell. I forget what size this is, but in the store they'll have this, and I think it'll say it's 2 extra servings. Because if you get the smaller one, what's going to happen is you're going to have extra filling. And if you have another little pie crust ready, you can put it in there as well. Okay, so get the supersize pie crust. You're going to need 4 eggs. You're going to need a half a cup of lime juice and 2 of the 8-ounce bricks of cream cheese. And you're going to you're going to blend your cream cheese until it's nice and fluffy, and I'll show you that in the video in a minute. So you have your cream cheese, you've got your eggs, and you need to separate the eggs. Now here's the thing about eggs. You can use brown eggs, you can use white eggs. But one thing you do want to do is you want to separate these. Because for the cheesecake, we're only going to use the egg yolks. Once you separate your egg yolks, and you'll see that in another video, you can use the egg whites to make meringue to go on top of it if you want. I don't particularly like meringue on a pie. If it's on there, I'll just scooch it off, slide it off anyway. But you want to separate your eggs. So once again, for your key lime pie, you're going to need a super size. Oh, and I forgot one other thing. It's not here on the counter right now. Where is it? You'll need a can of condensed milk. The fat-free kind if you want, or the regular kind, but you'll also need a can of condensed milk. And what I'll do is I will put the recipe for you down here at the bottom. So let's get started. Well, hey everybody. Today I'm going to show you how to make a really awesome key lime pie. Here's some of the ingredients you're going to need. You're going to need a pie crust, and you can buy those pre-made pie crusts, which are pretty cool. Now, with your pre-made pie crust, I suggest you pre-bake it for about 15 minutes. Well, excuse me, not 15 minutes. Pre-bake it for about 10 minutes. That way, when you put your filling in, your crust will actually be a crust and not soggy or sticky. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the oven for about 10 minutes. And while that's taking place, we'll start mixing up the other ingredients. Okay, so what you want to do is go ahead and get 2 of those 8-ounce packages of cream cheese. And just go ahead and put that in your mixer. And the best thing, something that I've really learned recently and found a lot of consistency, is if you're using cream cheese and butter and eggs and sugar, the order and the way in which you mix them is super duper important. Don't just throw everything all into the bowl, turn on the mixer, walk away, and hope for the best. Not really the best way to do it. So I've got my 2 packs of cream cheese in there. So I'm going to mix this for about 5 to 10 minutes, depending upon the consistency of the cream cheese. Consistency, I mean, like, how long have you had it out at room temperature? How thick is it? Because you really want to get this whipped really, really well. Okay, once you get it whipped well, then you're going to add, let's see, 1 can of condensed milk. I love condensed milk. We'll add that. And 4 egg yolks, and you want to only add these one at a time. Don't just dump it all in there at once. Dump it, let them go in one at a time until they mix and beat really, really well. Then at the end, you have at the end, I have a half a cup of lime juice. Now, if you're going to make this a lemon pie, I guess you could substitute lemon juice, or if you're going to make it orange, I guess you could. But anyway, this is going to be a key lime pie because this is key lime juice. So let me go ahead and get the cream cheese all whipped up, and then I'll show you what that looks like. And we'll add the milk and the eggs and the lemon juice and put it in the pie crust. Oh, just so you'll know, I broke up the eggs originally. I separated them into the egg yolks and the egg whites. You can save these egg whites and let them get to room temperature if you want to whip up a meringue for your key lime pie. For this key lime pie, for this version, I'm just going to set these aside. I'm not going to use them. I don't really like meringue, so I'm not going to use it. And we're just going to be using the egg yolks. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so now you can see that it's all nice and fluffy. Nice and fluffy. That was the whole point that we were getting at. You know, not runny, but fluffy. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and add, and it's going to get a little noisy. Well, I'll just go ahead and add this, the condensed milk to it. And I've got to turn the mixer on so that gets really loud. So then I'll just come back in a minute. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead, and there's actually a couple ways. No, now we're going to go ahead and add our half a cup of lime juice. And the one thing about adding it now is you can do that because if you add the lime juice when right now all you have is the cream cheese and the condensed milk, you can actually kind of go ahead and taste it to make sure either does it need a little more lime juice or, you know, if it needs less, it's like, oh well. But I'm going to go ahead and mix this in, and then we'll add our eggs. We're going to go ahead and add our half a cup of lime juice. And the one thing about adding it now is you can do that because if you add the lime juice when right now all you have is the cream cheese and the condensed milk, you can actually kind of go ahead and taste it to make sure either does it need a little more lime juice or, you know, if it needs less, it's like, oh well. But I'm going to go ahead and mix this in, and then we'll add our eggs. Now, okay. Now you can see I've got the batter in there all creamy and smooth. It looks really watery, but that's okay because it's gonna all start to set, to congeal. The one thing this lime juice does is it's going to congeal really well. So let me go ahead and pour this into the pie crust so you can see what it looks like. Okay, before I put it in the oven, as you can see, I've set it on a baking sheet, so that way it'll be easy to carry and get to the oven. As you can tell, and let me just show you. See how it's liquidy, but yet it's starting to set a little bit. So by cooking it with the eggs and all that cream cheese and butter, let me see, I can go a little deeper for you and show you. You just want it dripping off the spoon like this, and that should be fine. See, take shape. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the oven and bake it for about 40 minutes at 320 or so. And you'll see it rise up a little bit. And if you've done this correctly, followed my instructions, it won't collapse in on itself or crack like, you know, you see cheesecakes do sometimes. So let me go ahead and get this in the oven and so we can eat it because it's going to be delicious. Okay, here is the key lime pie. I know it looks a hot mess, but it is delicious, as you can see by how much has already been eaten out of it. It's really good. It's really creamy. It has that cheesecake like texture. There are some crumbs and a graham cracker crust, and it's like delicious. These cracks you see, I know I promised you it wouldn't crack, but it did because I kept peeking in the oven door. Do not open the oven door, otherwise you will get cracks like this. As opposed to with the chocolate one, we didn't get the cracks because we didn't open the oven door. And as you can see, I put a little too much into the pan, so it overflowed a little bit, and as you can see, it springs back to the touch. That's hot. But anyway, enjoy your baking. Please feel free to share with me any pictures of what you made, whether it's the chocolate cream cheese pie or the key lime cream cheese pie. So have a great day, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye.